New this morning, COVID-19 is bringing attention to the problems some rural communities face when it comes to accessing fresh and healthy food. So all new this morning, our Jamie Warren shows us how one nonprofit is making things work in order to make sure no one goes hungry.
About 100 miles south of Phoenix, 40 miles from the Mexico border, and on the edge of the Tohono O'odham Reservation is the small town of Ajo, Arizona.
I came here to do research field work for my PhD in cultural anthropology.
It's a place Nina Sayovet has called home for the past 14 years.
I started realizing really early on that good food in this remote, rural, poor community is a privilege.
So she created Ajo Center for Sustainable Agriculture. It started off as a way to teach people, both on and off the reservation, how to grow their own food. They also sold food at their cafe and held a weekly farmers market. But in March of 2020, everything changed.
In modern America, you don't think of not being able to access food, and suddenly the shelves were empty.
And with only one grocery store in Ajo and one on the reservation, that was a big problem. She says the local church that hosted a food pantry couldn't keep up with the demand. So they stepped in, completely transforming into an emergency food relief station. And nearly a year later, they're still going.
So right now, this group is packing up bags of food that'll be handed out at their smaller distribution today. But on any given month, they can give out over 600 of these bags, which include pounds of pasta, crackers, and canned vegetables.
Slowly it's picked up, but it's still kind of rough.
The food helping out Ajo residents like Nathan Mewany, who's had trouble finding work over the past year.
I have children, so it was, it was a godsend at the time. Or it still is, as a matter of fact.
And tribal members also loading up their trucks to send it to the reservation, which has seen a surge in COVID-19 cases. This small town showing a sense of resiliency.
Nobody else will do this for us.
And for Sayovet, she hopes others will see what's happening here and take a closer look at their own neighborhoods.
If this happened to our food system, it can happen to yours. So your food system can collapse because COVID really exposed a lot of weaknesses in the industrial food system. And in Phoenix, you might not see it. You're also not so used to, looking your neighbor in the eye and saying, hey, how are you doing? But please understand, there's hunger behind the closed doors. And it's something people are very uncomfortable talking about.
In Ajo, Jamie Warren, ABC 15, Arizona.
So how do we make sure our own food system will not collapse? The group believes that they may have found the answer, and it starts with making sure that there are enough farmers in our state. Jamie Warren will tell you about two bills that are right now making their way through the state legislature in the next half hour.